Hey guys, welcome to the J Squared Horror Podcast. I'm Josh.
And I'm Jake.
And on today's episode, we are going to be covering
1981's The Burning, directed by Tony Maylam.
Classic slasher, taking it back to our original roots here.
Yes, we are. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube.
Pretty please.
You also can find us on Spotify as well. And follow us on Instagram, J Squared Horror Podcast. Linktree in the bio. New episodes every Thursday.
Every single Thursday, we release new content for you guys to listen and enjoy.
Yes, we do.
So, kicking it back to the 80s slashers. This is the reason we did this.
It is.
I mean, it's the root of our fandom.
Yeah.
It's the root of our agreeing on getting into podcasting in general. Of course, we're going to talk about all things horror, new, old, but there's just a special place in both of our hearts for the 1980s slasher movies. How do you feel this one holds up? I mean, it's going against some pretty big dogs in its time. So if you were to put this in just from, let's say, 78 to 82, the slashers that came out, how do you feel this one holds up?
I think it holds up pretty well.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of those movies where it's a fun watch.
It is very enjoyable slasher.
I feel like it's something you would watch in a group.
Yep.
Like on a Friday, Saturday night, just relax and have a good time watching it.
People need to add this one to the October movie list.
I agree.
You really, hey, all you fans out there, if you don't watch it, I mean, please go watch it right now so you can kind of get what we're talking about during this episode. It is available on Tubi for free. You do just get a couple ads in it, but I'm sure you can rent it on Amazon for pretty cheap. But we always would like you guys to join in watching some of these classics because I don't know how much enjoyment you'll get out of this if you don't watch it.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know what we're talking about, I mean, you still probably enjoy it.
Yeah, we're awesome guys.
We are. But obviously, you'll probably have a better time if you've recently watched it or just watch it before this episode.
Yeah, watch it before the episode. We can be like everybody else on YouTube and Spotify. Spoilers ahead.
Yeah. We're going to spoil this
40-year-old
movie
for you.
From 40 years ago.
40 years ago. Hey, I just want to say, none of you guys feel bad because this is the first time I've ever watched it or heard of it, which kind of makes me question my 80s slashers fandom, but hey, fuck it, I'm honest.
Yeah, well, I had seen it before.
Yeah.
Kind of earlier we were discussing either doing The Prowler or this movie.
But we put on trailers, and this one looked way more interesting.
It did.
It did. I mean, The Prowler's probably a great movie.
It is.
But
it is.
Off the trailers, the ones we decided to watch.
Yeah.
This was our choice.
Yeah. And I'm happy we chose it.
I am too. Yeah. It's a hour and a half of everything you would expect from an 80s slasher. There's teens, there's camping, there's a lake or a river, and there's a lot of blood and death.
There's smoking, drinking, sex, you know.
What else do you want from a horror flick, guys? Especially from 1981.
Yeah, these are the basics.
Right? Yeah. The great hairdos, the great shorts, all of it.
I'm all about some shorts.
I know, man. You're rocking like 6.5 inch inseam shorts over here. So with that said, do you immediately my brain, because of my lack of knowledge of horror films, I always go to the classics that people are probably sick of us talking about at this point, but hey, guess what? They're our favorites for a reason, so we're going to talk about them.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way you can watch this movie and not think of Friday the 13th.
Yep.
You know?
Unfortunately.
It's a year apart from each other coming out.
Yep.
So, I get it. You got the camp setting, the counselors.
POV in the woods.
Which I couldn't tell if they were counselors or kids at first. Their whole age and jobs they do is very confusing.
Couldn't tell you if they were counselors or the kids at or adult. I don't know the adult group of the camp experience.
The one character, Tiger.
Yeah, she
looked like she was 12, 13 years old.
Smoking a
the
cigarette.
Next thing she smoked a cigarette. It was so confusing.
And her hair, oh gosh, her haircut was just
the worst.
About as bad as it gets.
Yeah.
Courtney Cox, Scream 3, or this one.
Or not even that. Or Will from Stranger Things.
Hey, man, he grows
Dude,
into it. He grows
no, he
into
doesn't. No, he. Have you seen the new season?
Watched it all already. Well, the ones we have, yeah.
It is even worse.
It's funny, though, because there's a picture of him little.
Yeah.
And then a picture of him now, and they were just like, look, he just grew into his haircut.
It's so bad.
But yes. So when being a film person, creator, director, you obviously saw the success of Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Because it did very well in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, like Friday the 13th did with Halloween, but you're going to try to redo that in a sense.
Yeah.
The excitement and the fandom from that, right? So Halloween to Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th did it way differently, even though it's based off of a similar idea. Mm-hmm. But then you get this. And in my opinion, I think that this is a prime example of what having the right people doing the right jobs does for a movie. So there's always ways to nitpick movies, whether it's the cinematography, the acting, this. Mm-hmm. This movie, the score was terrible. It didn't scare you at all. I think there might have been like one attempt at an actual jump scare.
No, I feel like the music sounded like completing a level in a video game.
Yeah, like Mario or some shit.
Yeah,
it
was very like you achieved something.
Yeah.
It was weird.
And then you got the scenes that are so dark. Now, some movies do it right, where it's like dark, but it shouldn't be in a pivotal part to where you as the viewer have no clue what's going on. So we're on death number 2, I do believe, after like a good 30 minutes of no kills. Mm-hmm. And that first kill, you don't see it. And what sucks is we talked about this great Sultan of Slaughter already.
Wait, what do you mean you don't see it?
When the girl gets her neck slit?
Oh.
That's the one you don't see. Isn't that the next death?
It might be, actually, yeah.
I think it was.
Because there's such a long gap in between.
It's such a long gap. That's not the next one, but there is a death when they're at the lake, her and the aggressive guy.
Yeah.
When
he's so aggressive.
It's just, that part's awkward. It definitely, like, trigger warnings, I guess, is a good thing to say. Yeah. It's definitely 80s. So, obviously, things change in time. People kind of realize how shitty people were, especially men towards women. But in this one, that's just what was happening in the times. Not saying it's okay, but that's definitely a common theme throughout the movie. Now, there is no taking advantage of anyone. We don't cover that kind of stuff on the podcast anyway, but this guy's definitely a little aggressive, but she also flirtates the idea, so it's like a dynamic between the two of them. But when she gets out of the water to leave said situation, it's very dark. She's looking for her clothes, and then she dies on screen, but it was almost like an off-screen kill because you can't fucking see it.
Yeah. And what's crazy is the camera is on the kill the entire time.
Yeah, it's not like it was an off-screen.
Yeah.
It should have been an on-screen kill that you just could not see.
So dark you can't see it.
You kind of see blood coming down her chest in the open shirt,
and
but
that is it.
That's it. But it's
weird.
Savini doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he's not doing the lighting.
But I'm saying, you got Savini kills, you better make them front and center.
Well, the rest of them were.
Now, the hooker that gets killed in the beginning of the movie,
that was good.
That was good.
That was good.
It really looked like she got stabbed in the tummy.
Yeah.
That was good. There's a bunch of other really good kills. He obviously uses his Friday the 13th skill set for one on the raft.
Yeah.
But, having Savini obviously in his prime, I think saved this movie.
Yeah, I mean, the kills are honestly the biggest component of the movie, as they are in a lot of 80s slasher movies.
Obviously.
The kills are huge, but you have to see them to know they're good.
Which, like we said,
there was just lots of scenes, even like the scene leading up to the kill, to where you didn't know what time of day it was.
Yeah, what time of day it was. It was like bright but dark.
They were like weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
Reflections, and I don't know what it was.
How did you feel about there's really not a main character in this movie.
Yeah, there is. There's Alfred.
Okay, so you consider Alfred. Okay, that's where I was going with this. So perfect. How do you feel about the Alfred character?
He makes no sense.
What is the first thing that Alfred does in the movie that is mentioned? What's the first thing out the gate that Alfred does? And we're supposed to care about this guy.
I mean, the thing that sticks out to me was him scaring that chick while she's taking a shower.
He was watching her in the shower.
He was just watching her?
I mean, come on.
I thought he was like trying to scare her.
He used the excuse that he was trying to scare her to piss off her boyfriend.
I mean, there were a lot of scenes him just like watching people.
Yeah, he's creepy.
He's
dude.
a peeping Tom.
He's a peeping Tom that
Yeah.
we're supposed to worry about.
Yeah.
He could have died. Like,
Yeah.
really early on in the movie would not have affected me at all.
Yeah,
Now, some of the other characters that I ended up growing to love in this movie, definitely happy they survived.
Yeah, like later in the movie,
Yeah.
when he's like running around thinking, dude, just kill this
Just
kid.
kill the kid. Like, so
And
there's
his character.
There's the scene where he's like under, like on a rocks, like rock side,
Yeah.
and then the killer's standing above him, holding the shears like down, like just drop him.
Yeah, kill him.
Get him out of the movie, dude.
I'm done with
tired
him.
of him.
I mean, one of the best characters
Yes.
for me was good old George Costanza.
Yes.
AKA Jason Alexander, the actor.
Jason Alexander
Yep.
played Dave in this movie.
Head full of hair.
Head full of hair.
Loved it.
You know, looking pretty in shape. He's
Yeah.
he's a super great comedic relief.
Yeah.
We were even watching this little tidbit after about how he was actually cracking up the entire crew. I mean, he's a naturally funny guy. Obviously, you saw it on Seinfeld for many years. But it's really cool to see him out of his prime before that
Yeah.
doing a really good job in a horror flick. Like, that's a tough gig to be the comedic relief in a horror flick, especially in an 80s slasher like that.
Yeah. To me, Dave is a character if George never met Jerry.
Yeah.
That's who he would be.
Yeah, I mean, he was great because he just moved to New York and felt too small.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool though, because immediately you think of what was I about to say? Yep, nope, I forgot.
Okay.
I was trying to comedic relief part, but I got nothing. How did you feel about that main guy, the older one?
Which one? They're all old.
No, the dude that was like the nice guy.
Oh, and like the jean shirt. And
Constantly in jeans and like waste water.
that was so weird.
Yeah, it was
he
weird.
was always like waist deep
You
in
know
water.
you're a camp guy. You
Yeah.
should be having some shorts
You're a
on.
counselor.
Yeah,
Where
or
are short-
something.
Everyone else has shorts on except for this guy.
So in the beginning of the movie, you see how the killer is created.
Cropsy.
Cropsy.
Which is a weird name we got.
Okay. Cropsy that uses shears. All right. Okay.
Well, he's the
he's like a gardener.
the caretaker.
Yeah. All right. Well, there's a prank played on him by a group of kids where they put like this Jason's mom's head in the room with him with like candles in her eyes. And I didn't even think about that till right now. They even did a decapitated head in this movie.
Yeah.
Gosh, what a ripoff. So yeah, you have the decapitated Jason's mom head, and it scares him. He kicks it, lights his blankets on fire, and then it falls onto a gasoline canister that then blows up. That lights his entire building and himself on
that's
fire.
Sitting right next to his bed for some reason.
When you're a caretaker, you got to be ready to go at all moments, man. That gasoline's important. Imagine there's like generators and stuff on the campsite. Makes sense. So yeah, he gets killed not killed. He gets burned severely by a group of kids. Then there's this weird scene in the hospital where this like nurse or doctor is introducing a new doctor, and he's like taking him in there to show him this badly burned person, but like the guy's like, no, I don't want to see it. And he's like, no, you have to see it. Really weird scene.
Yeah, he was trying to ruin that guy's day.
Yeah, didn't add anything to the plot or really anything. You just see a burnt arm come out and grab him, and he survived. And then it's 5 years later where this is all taking place.
Yeah.
Now this is not the same campsite. But we find out and later in the movie that one of the main counselors is one of the kids from that group. How would he have known that?
He didn't know that.
No clue.
No idea.
Why did he decide to kill a hooker in a group of kids? Probably just pissed off that he got caught on fire. I mean, I imagine that's a pretty bad day.
I would agree.
I mean, at least Freddy Krueger went after a specific group of people.
Yeah.
But hey, he died.
Yeah, so I'm big on motive.
This one's...
There is no motive.
The motive is just that he hates everyone, I guess.
Is it? Yeah, so just revenge on everyone.
But I think that's what they were trying to be different with this versus Friday the 13th, because Friday the 13th it's like Camp Crystal Lake, it's Jason Voorhees, Jason's mom, like all of that. And this one, it's just a dude, and like Savini said in that little video we watched, like, not like the people watching the movie will be more likely to want certain characters to survive because ultimately they're not bad people. They're just getting killed for being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, they're all innocent. So, speaking of that, there's a lot of good kills in this movie.
Yes.
Like you mentioned before. So, if you had to pick a favorite kill, what would it be?
Definitely, I can't think of the douchebag's name. Glazer's death was my favorite. It's a Savini special. He gets stabbed through the neck, but then you get to see it on the other side of the neck, and he's getting like carried through the woods. It was top notch. What was yours?
The raft kill.
So that combined,
yeah,
or the one, a specific one from the raft, or all of them?
All of them. Just the whole setup. Because one of my favorite characters was Woodstock.
Yeah, Woodstock was a pretty cool character. Little scrawny dude.
Yeah, scrawny dude, rocking the shorts, doing his thing.
That's why it's the shorts.
Yeah. So they get out there, and then probably the most iconic image from that movie is the guy coming up with the
shears,
up and the light behind him, or whatever. It was good.
It was very good. A surprise. I mean, I guess that would be one of the bigger jump scare parts.
I didn't expect middle of the day.
We were both like, oh, that's the girl that got killed. Like, she's going to be in the boat. And then,
it was unexpected.
That's a good kill.
It was a good kill, yeah. Least favorite kill?
My least favorite kill has got to be probably the one we already talked about. But let me think about it for just half a second longer. Yeah. That girl. That's all like the off-screen, on-screen dark kill. Yeah.
My least favorite is probably Cropsy.
I was thinking that, but I love an axe to the head, so I'm cool with it.
I mean, it was... Yeah, then they felt need to burn him again. Yeah.
That's your boy.
It's overkill.
That's the point. He just killed a bunch of kids. You want to make sure he's dead.
Shears to the back, axe to the head. I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Gotta light him back up.
Yeah, but he's not some...
He's not some
force.
Yeah.
He's a regular person.
Just burnt.
But
how did he get up from his shears in the back?
I don't know.
Adrenaline.
I guess so.
I don't know.
Also, the main counselor, I didn't know which kid he was. Did you?
No. Mm-mm.
But I feel like it tells you.
I think he was the main one.
I don't think he was the main one. I don't know who he was.
I don't either. They didn't do a good job of explaining the whole back part.
You just knew he was a kid.
But he's having like random flashbacks of it when he's walking towards him with a flame. Because for some reason, Cropsy uses a flamethrower. You want to talk about something fucking stupid? I'm sorry, but that's pretty stupid. Why? The fact that he's walking around with a flamethrower.
I mean, he wasn't. Well, he just found it down there.
I know, but you would be. I imagine if you got completely burned.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be slightly timid around a fire.
Well, not necessarily. Jason is all about some water. He drowned.
I'm talking about a normal person, like a human being. Because Jason's not really. He's like a evil force.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, like, your average person that went through something that traumatic is going to be a little hesitant around campfires and candles.
We'll probably never light a candle in their
life.
Yeah,
exactly. They're going to have to get those plug-in Glade things that make your house smell nice. So... All right.
So they took an idea.
Yeah.
Not the most original idea, but they did put their spin on it.
They did put their own original ideas in it. Yes.
So, same idea, same premise. What changes would you make to improve it?
Really just a lot of the shooting of it. Like, not necessarily like the story at all. Mm-hmm. I just hate that, going from 80 to 81, having the POV killer in the woods. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't have gone that route. Yeah. I would have seen Cropsy a lot more than they show him. creeping around in the background. Like, he could still be that, like, creepy, ominous figure, which obviously works with Jason, Michael, and all of them. But I think one of the biggest things is the score and the POV style killer, because it's blurry, you can't quite see. So maybe even if that was just cleaned up a little bit more, I might have liked it a little bit more. But I think the premise is fine if you're going off of that whole campy vibe. Like, okay, I get it. He didn't drown, cool. He burned, okay. He's not a dead evil force, cool. It's not his mom, cool. Like, it's not a complete ripoff.
No.
But I think I was just so irritated at the final product of the movie. Okay. Like, I just feel like it could have been done so much better. So what do you have in mind that you would change in the story or the shooting or whatever it may be?
I would change the lighting.
Yes.
Just making it a little more visible.
Yes.
To see, you know? And what I loved that they didn't show a lot of Cropsey.
Okay, so you like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
I
just like the way Cropsey looked. Like, when you finally get to see him, he's kind of freaky.
Yeah, but it builds it up to that.
It does. You're right. Good. So you're right. That is good. I just really hated their execution of the POV in the woods thing. I think that's all I was getting at.
I think Cropsey need, like, glasses or...
Like I said, maybe his eyeballs melted or something. But, ugh.
He had blurry vision.
Very blurry vision. And then he, like, army crawls. Because he's, like, on his, like in the grass in that one scene.
Yeah, some of the POV shots don't make any sense.
Yeah, I would like them to make a little bit more sense.
Which is fine. It's not a big deal.
Because when you do it in Friday the 13th, it's always from, like, a height. Not necessarily, like, way up, like he's fucking 14 feet tall. But it's like a POV from an average human height.
Yeah. One thing I would want, though, is some type of explanation as to why he's doing this.
Yeah, like him just... like saying it almost like when he's walking around in New York, or not New York, walking around in the city. Like, would that have worked? Like, if he's just like gets out of the hospital and he's like, I'm gonna go back and kill some kids.
Yeah, or just a scene where he's with that prostitute.
Yeah,
and they're just talking, and he's like explaining what he's been through.
Yeah,
or what his plans are after leaving her.
And then maybe she's like, "You're fucking crazy." Then that's why he kills her.
Exactly. Something that makes more sense to him just not saying anything.
Yeah.
The entire movie.
No, I don't think he could talk because vocal cords were melted.
Is that a thing?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll go with that. All right. So, Jake, on a scale from 1 to 10, what do you give 1981 The Burning?
6. On a scale from 1 to 10. It's a 6. Now, it's hard for me to give any movie that has campsites in it.
Yeah.
That, off the bat, is going to get you a 5. For me.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm going to go with 6.
All right.
What about you?
I'm going with a solid 4.
Okay.
A solid 4.
Based on?
Really just my annoyances with the way they shot a lot of it. I mean, a movie depends on the direction and the cinematography. In this instance, it really makes the movie shitty. It does, man. I'm sorry. I might be the most nitpicky horror fan out there, but when you originally asked me outside when we were having a pre-podcast chat, I was thinking a 2. So I've really worked it back up to a 4. Yeah. Wow. After talking with you, talking it out, it's really not a horrible movie. It'll be something fun for you guys to watch.
Yeah.
It's for a lot of our fans, you guys are kind of like new into the horror world, or some of you that have been into it a while, you might not have seen this in a long time. Go watch it. Let us know what you guys would rate it. Let us know your guys' ratings in the comments.
Yeah.
That would be mint. Trying to be hip. Anything else you want to add to the episode, bud?
No, just pretty much give a second reminder to like and subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah. And listen to us on Spotify. Like, if you don't want to watch us, if we're too pretty for you, just listen to our beautiful voices on Spotify.
Or if we're not pretty enough for you, Spotify.
Yeah. Always check out the Instagram. We do have a link tree in the bio. Instagram is J Squared Horror Podcast, where we do release new content every single Thursday. We thank you guys so much for always tuning in every week. This is so much fun for me and Jake to do. We like to thank all of our fans and supporters. Supporters being Jeff Balance, who did all of our design work. He did just knock a new design out of the park for us.
Yeah.
You guys will be seeing that very, very soon. We are very excited about it. It was one of Jake's babies, one of his ideas. So when we post it, give Jake all the love on that. Lucky Rigs. I don't know if you guys listened after the last episode, but at the end of every episode, there's a new song based on this new design. We kind of always do things together. So this is a pretty exciting thing. Big thank you to Lucky Rigs for doing our music for us. This stuff's amazing.
Yeah,
couldn't ask for anything really better. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is the J Squared Horror Podcast. I'm Josh.
And I'm Jake.
You guys have a good week. And remember, it's hip to be squared.